What did that feel like? Did you have that image when you were young?
Well, it just came to me. I mean, all of a sudden, you know, I had brought this company from $3 to $52 million in a 3-year period. And we're really talking about decades ago. So I would say $50-something million back in those days is the equivalent of $500 million today. So I was making the equivalent of probably $100 million a year in profit for my boss. So needless to say, he treated me so well. I got to really go on vacation 5 times a year, first class, to any spot or destination on the planet that I wanted with my family. I drove a top-of-the-line Mercedes. I had 2 side-by-side mansions on Point Dume in Malibu and the most prestigious, beautiful street, Cliffside Drive. I was flying back and forth on the Concorde to London and Paris and going shopping and wearing designer clothes. I mean, I was on top of the world, you know. And so I had all of that by the time I was 25, critical claim and everything else. At age 30, I was going through a very, very difficult dissolution of my marriage. I had 2 young babies, and all of a sudden, you know, he took half of everything that I earned. I had 4 homes at that time. My first home that I bought in the Hollywood Hills by the time I was 21 years old, the 2 homes in Malibu, and a oceanfront home right in the middle of Hana Bay in Hawaii on the island of Maui, not too far from, you know, my places in Kipahulu right now on East Maui as well. So I was on the top of the world, and you know, so I gave my husband half of everything. The other half I invested very disastrously in my first business because I was just a designer, not a businesswoman. I didn't know the difference between a cutting ticket to a picking ticket. And with all of that lack of knowledge, I went into business. Con artists took a hold of me. Within 1 year, all of my money had disappeared. I found myself to be 30, going through my first Saturn return, and then losing everything. And so that was really my, you know, first phoenix going down, you know, burning all the way to the ground. You know, I had 4 homes on top of the world, top of the, you know, peak or the pinnacle, and I plunged all the way down to the abyss of the valley. So that was an incredibly humbling experience. And so basically, from rags to riches, back to rags, basically. So that was a
What
transformation.
did you learn in that moment?
I learned humility because, you know...
Did you lose a lot of friends?
I didn't have any friends. I had to really start all over again. And this is really my 3rd Phoenix rising, but I'll really, you know, I'll digress and go backwards in time a little bit. So in my youthful arrogance, I thought I would really gain everything back in 2 minutes. And the long climb became 20 years before I would really hit my second enormous wave of success, which really manifested these 3 beautiful homes, body, mind, and spirit. And I founded this evening wear line on a fluke, basically. And I had never designed evening wear in my entire life. And the year was 1999. I had designed these 5 gowns through this agent who was really a ripoff. And so I took these gowns to really find, you know, a manufacturer for them. And I had a copy of each one of those gowns in my tote bag. And wouldn't you know, the first factory that I was set up with, I saw every single one of my gowns hanging in that factory. And so the year was 1999, July of 1999. I remembered having my little mother with me because we had just really lost my father earlier that year. And so I took her with me to first to Tokyo, then to Hong Kong. And since she knew the language, I was able to leave her to her own devices, you know, to visit relatives or to walk around and shop. And I worked like the devil, you know. So I said to myself, it's 1999, the millennium is coming in a few months, and every woman is going to really want to have a dressy dress. So on the spot, I designed 25 dresses after I was connected with 3 dressy factories. The samples came in 1 month later, and they were just magical and gorgeous, very similar to what I really designed today, but that was what, 15, 16 years ago. And I received the samples, marketed in time for the August market, and they sold like hotcakes.